Welcome to today's video. Today we're going to be talking about how you and every other person does not see reality as it is, how we filter the world through these things called cognitive distortions, and I'm going to teach you how to identify them and how to change them so that you can ultimately become the person you want to be. Let's dive in. We all are told, we've heard the phrase, right? Perception is reality. No, that's not correct. Subjective perception is subjective reality, sure, but your subjective perception is not objective reality. Your perception, most of the times, is not even correct. Your perception is usually not reality. So the thing that's really important, if you were listening to the last episode I put out, which is about programming yourself and how you are programmed throughout your life, what happens is your brain filters and distorts everything that comes into your brain through your senses. And it filters everything through all of your conditionings, all of your programs, all of your patterns, all of the millions of little teeny tiny experiences that you have had in your entire life. And it filters all of it and it distorts reality in some sort of way. These are called cognitive distortions. And so it will actually distort reality based off of what's going on in your own head. Cognitive distortions are based on everything that's ever happened to you. And what they tend to do is they're really just biased ways of thinking that tend to reinforce negative thoughts and negative emotions. And that's the important part about it. If these cognitive distortions just made you happier, probably wouldn't be much of a problem. If they made you more successful, wouldn't be much of a problem, but they tend to go towards the negative side, negative thoughts, negative emotions, because your brain is a protection mechanism. It tends to want to keep you safe, and safe is the known. And safe means not getting out of your comfort zone. And so they tend to be negative so that the negative thought keeps you in the exact same place that you're currently in. And cognitive distortions are very, very common in mental health conditions such as anxiety and depression. And but even if you don't have anxiety or depression, we all have cognitive distortions, even if you don't have any mental health diagnosis. And so really understanding your cognitive distortions, the way that you perceive reality and how that could be incorrect from actual reality, is one of the most critical steps in improving your life and your mental health more than anything else, and literally creating the life that you want. And so let's dive into it. First off, let's get really clear on what are cognitive distortions. They are irrational, biased thoughts that can perpetuate negative thinking patterns. And so basically the easiest way to think about it is they are errors in your thinking that can distort your perception of reality. So ask yourself, instead of thinking this, what would I prefer to think? And you write that thought down. And then what you do is you try to get that one to be your thought. And when you notice, it's not going to get the cognitive distortion is just going to disappear. So when you notice, I always say you can't control your first thought, but you can always control your second thought. But if you make your second thought long enough, eventually it will become your first thought. But you know, the programs are running. You're going to be thinking these things automatically. When they come up, replace it. When it comes up, replace it. When it comes up, replace it. And just really start to challenge your thoughts. Have opposite thinking and replace your thoughts with what it is that you prefer. Because you might think that what you think is true, that it is absolute reality, but it's so funny. I always say people's beliefs and people's perspectives are like a house of cards. You just need one good flick and the entire thing comes crumbling down. And so when you start to challenge yourself, really, you can start to change yourself. And so that's what I got for you for today's episode. If you love this episode, please share it on Instagram stories. Tag me in it, Rob Dow Jr. Also, if you love this podcast, you're definitely going to love something that I just launched that's called Mindset Mentor Plus. It is something that I designed to actively integrate every single one of these episodes into your life. Here's how it works. For every episode that comes out of this podcast, Mindset Mentor Plus subscribers get more. So you're going to get, with every single episode that comes out, multiple page detailed worksheets, effectively mini masterclasses for every single episode that is more in depth than just this podcast. So they come with journaling questions, they come with challenges, assignments, so that you're not just listening to podcasts, but you're actually actively integrating every single one of them into your brain and into your life. And so you improve a lot faster. Also inside of there is where I do my monthly Q&A sessions and a whole lot more bonuses. So to learn more about it, all you got to do is go to mindsetmentor.com. Once again, mindsetmentor.com. And the cool thing about it is I want it to be a no-brainer for as many people to be able to join and afford it. So that's why I made it way less than $1 a day. And so if you want to learn more about it, I have a video that explains everything at mindsetmentor.com. And I can't wait to see you in there. And with that, I'm leaving the same way I leave you every single episode. Make it your mission to make someone else's day better. I appreciate you, and I hope that you have an amazing day.